Hello back everyone. Throughout this session I'm gonna discuss about component life cycle. That's why I added a new one. Here is it. The first thing to be executed here inside the component, it will be the constructor. Then it will be ng on it. But here is it, one thing from Angular. Best practice is to use constructor only for injection. Means, if you would like to inject a service, use a constructor. But if you would like to execute some command, it would be better to put it here on side, ng on it. So let's also make sure about that. Here is it, inside the constructor, I will add, console.log, and I would like to say hello from constructor, all right? And also regarding ng on it, I will say the same console.log, and here is it, hello from ng on it. And let's see about which one gonna execute it first. If we go to our browser, here is it, let's have a clear console and I click refresh. Here is it, as you can see, he would like to say hello from constructor first, then hello from ng on it. Alright, that's awesome. Okay, so let's get back to our visual code and discover it also more about lifecycle. Also, we would like to talk about on changes. This, basically if you got property inside your component and this property is changed. So here is it, he will implement or execute the method over there. So to keep track about your component changes, all you have to do is go and implement on changes. Here is it, I will add it. And this one definitely on changes, it will auto import from @angular \core. So here is it. And once you add it, hey, he gonna tell you, hey, you have to add on changes to that class. As you can see, class, life cycle, implement on changes, but it doesn't have, that method. So do you like to add it? Yes. Quick fix, implement interface, on changes. So as you can see, he added to us, but we don't want it here. All right, so I will take that one as a copy and Control Z. All right, I would like, to be outside the constructor. So it will be here on it changes. All right, and here is it. See, right now that error is gone away. All right. So as we said, any changes is about any change inside that component. Do you like to take an example? Okay, so let's, have here a property. We will have, first input. And this property, could be anything. We're gonna name it, for example, prop. All right. And maybe I will give it, a value or not. I think, no need to give it, any value. And we will, go here to app.component.html. All right. And I'm going to tell him, hey, I would like, this property, which have a name prop, as we defined here, it was prop. So this prop, it will have a value of, we're gonna give it, X, Y, Z, anything like that. And I'm gonna define, this X where, yeah, also, you have to go to app.component.typescript, yes. And let's, give, here a variable. Let's give it, X, and that one of type number, and it will have a value 1. So right now, as you can see, this X, variable have a value 1, and you pass that one to that variable, which, got, prop. And this prop, here is that we define it as input here in a child component. All right. Okay. So what would you like to do right now? Let us close other files and go back here to child component, which have a name lifecycle component, in ng on it change. Here is it, this one have a built-in actually built-in parameter called it changes. All right, so here is it, let's see if we said console.log. Here is it, hello from ng on it changes, and I would like to see console.log it changes. Yeah, that one. All right, and that one, it was ng on it. All right, so let's go back to our browser and test out that port. So here is it. All right, awesome. So he first of all, hello from constructor, then hello from ng on it changes. And as you can see, here is it. He said, inside that it changes parameter, he gave you some data. Awesome. So as you can see, this, consider as a simple change. All right. The current value is 1 because, he takes that value from the parent component, x, definitely. And yes, it's the first change to this property because, we just created. So it doesn't have, previous also values. Also, so right now you can deal with ng on its changes. What about if we add a button here to change that value? Are you ready? Okay, so let's do it. I will go back to my Visual Code and I will go to app.component.html, and here is it, it's a simple change. We will, add a button here, and that button, it will have, a click event, and on click, here is it, click event, and on click, all you would like to do what? You would like, this prop, all right, this prop or this x could be 2. That's all. And we'd like to, hey, say, change the value. That's all. I think, it's better to be double quotes. All right. And let's save here and go back again. Here is it, our button. Okay, let's do one more refresh here. I will click on that button, it changes the value. And here is it, we got it again. Hello from ng on it changes. All right, as you can see. Here is it, as you can see, awesome. The current value become 2. Before the current value, no need for that. As you can see, the current value become 2. This not a first change, as you can see. All right, and the previous value, as we did before, it's 1. That's awesome. So right now, I think you got the idea of ng on a change. All right, so let's get back to our Visual Code and check what else over there. I will close that part. Here is it. We got, also one more thing called it do a check. So here is it, it's better to have a new line, I think. All right, I will add here on do check. I think it's just, yes, it just, directly do a check. And this basically, it will be auto imported from add angular /core. And as you can see also, from here, is a brief description. This also is looking for any custom change detection function, for whatever directive, for whatever, any value or anything. But, the recommended part from Angular, if you scroll down, he's telling you, hey, typically you should not use both do check and on changes to respond to changes on the same input. So you gotta, use that one on it changes or do a check on input. All right, so let's see. That one is do a check, and also, it will be the same once you implement the part here, and it's auto imported over there. Here is it. It's imported for us. You have to go down here. We will say ng do a check method. It should be over there. But here is it, one more thing I have to tell you about ng do check. For example, if you got here inside your lifecycle.html, you got a variable here. For example, h3, and you got a variable, and here's it, the binding for this variable could be, tutorial variable or just a test or x or y or z. Here is it, the do check, he gonna check if that variable have any change. He will do what? In any sometime that variable change, he will destroy that part of your component and rebuild it again with a new value. Alright, so he detect any change happen in your component in any time. Alright, so this regarding the do check. Also, that do check, he gonna check about if you got any pawn in your component, and the pawn is got any click or any event. So he do also detection of a change, because maybe that pawn gonna change any variable inside your component. And moreover that, if we talk about observable, because we got something called the subscribe. So if any change happen inside the subscribe method, he will also detect if this one gonna change in any part of your component. So here is it. I know the curiosity of you would like to know the sort when it gonna implement or call do check. If any change happen, we will say hello from ng do check. Alright, and let's get back to our browser, and here is it. Let's call that one, and as you can see, the sorting of it, he will call constructor first, then ng on it changes. So ng on it changes, is called directly before anything. After that, he will call ng on it, as you can see, and the last one he will call ng do a check. If any change happen, this is something different. But I'm talking about once your component is loading the first time. All right. But as you can see, if this button is clicked, he will call ng on it changes first. All right, and definitely do check is do the same thing, is something called a change detection. All right, that's awesome. Let's get back to our visual code. Here is it. Then we got two things, both of them with the same idea. The first one is after content in it, and then it will be also with the same idea. It will be after content checked. All right, here is it. And both of them we will add also, here is it, ng after content init. All right, and that one it will be ng after content checked. And from their meaningful name, as you can see, this one it will be called immediately after all content init done, and this will be after our change it is already checked, as from their meaningful name. All right, so let's see about the sorting here. Hello from ng content init, and that one it will be hello from ng content checked. And let's get back to our browser. Here is it, and let's have also clear console, as you can see. All right, here is it. As you can see also the sorting for it will be hello from constructor, ng on it changes, and on init do a check. And as you can see, this definitely it will be called later on after ng content init is already, everything is already done. You create your objects, you create everything. He will call that method in case you would like to execute something over there. and the last one definitely it will be ng content checked. All right, don't care about the last things because we are working in development environment. That's why he is calling that one, I think. All right, so let's get back again to our visual code, and let's come to the most important and the last one here in life cycle hook. It will be on destroy. Yeah, I know all of you waiting for that. And this basically it will be called before what? Just before the cleanup of destroying your instance. Because as the component, once you go to it to be shown on the single page application, he will start by on init, and he will execute or implement all the lines over the constructors, then as you can see in the life cycle. But before he destroying that component, he will go and implement those line on destroy. As you can see, here is it. It's also called for us from the same area. And let's go down, and don't forget to add it here. It will be ng on destroy, and this it will be called the last one. All right, hello from ng destroy. This console should be like that. All right, but right now if you go to here, you will see everything, as you can see, starting from constructor till the last one, but you cannot see destroy. Yeah, because you didn't destroy that component yet. Yeah, so how can we do it? Man, it's easy. Go back to your visual code, and here is it. I will go to the parent component, yes, app.component.html, and I will add here an if condition, yes, to destroy my component. So I will say here is it a directive. Let's have a bigger ng in case f that x equal we can say, for example, 1. So what's going on here? I'm telling him in case that x, all right, is equal 1, show the component. Yes, and right now it's 1. Yeah, I know. But if you click on that button, what it will happen? The exit will be 2, and 2 doesn't equal to 1. So this component, which have a name component life cycle, it will be destroyed. So ng destroy, it will be called before you destroy this component. Yeah, are you ready to test it? Yes. Let's go back to our browser, and here is it. Let's do one more refresh. All right, as you can see, constructor is the first part, but we cannot see destroy over there. Yeah, but if I click on that button here, as you can see, awesome. As you can see, we cannot see the component anymore. It's hidden or destroyed, and he implement all the lines over ng destroy before he destroys the component. And the proof for that, he said to you, hello from ng destroy. All right. Thank you for watching, and I hope right now you understand the life cycle of your Angular live component. Thank you for watching, and see you in next session.